Welcome to this mail merge tutorial. Now with the mail merge, your purpose is to send out a document to multiple individuals at different addresses. And that's the only difference. The exact same letter is going out, but just to different people at different places. There's a couple of ways of getting this information in our system. We'll go inside mail merge to see what these are. You see, first we have uploading a CSV file. We also have selecting from an address book. If you'll notice, there is an address book built into our Postal Methods portal, which you will populate. But once you do, you're able to pull from this address book. Let's see what this looks like. Let's select from address book. You notice the first thing you have is the sender's information. This, of course, would be you. So let's go ahead and put that information in here. Now, if you've never done it before, you would just simply fill in the information and save the information. But in this case, we're going to say that we've done that already. So all you have to do is put the first letter of the first person's first name, and it will find that, and all you got to do is click on it, and it'll populate these fields for you. Now we want to move on to who you're sending this to. So you'll go to recipient's information, and you're going to put a check mark by every box that you want to send this letter to. Once we've done so, then we would do next and move forward. Now, let's go back and look at doing it another way. All right, very good. So here we have mail merge again. In this case here, we're going to upload a CSV file, but let me back up just a moment. If you notice here, there's a description field, which we recommend you use. It's strictly optional. It's really just for your benefit so that later down the road you can find this project once again if you need to do so. So for the sake of this tutorial, I'm going to name this mail merge sample. But of course, in your case, you will name it whatever it is you would like to name it. Now, for the uploading a CSV file, you have a couple of options. You can drag and drop a file in here, or you can browse for it, which is what we are going to do. So now, first of all, we're going to look for a CSV file that actually contains the name and address for the return label as well. And we'll show you how we can use that in just a moment. Once you've uploaded the file to Postal Methods, click Next. And here is where you're going to match what the CSV file has with Postal Methods. So let's get an idea of what that looks like and what it is that we're looking for to match. Okay, so see we have here on the left-hand side the CSV file, which is a spreadsheet. And we want to match these columns in the way they are named with our Postal Methods portal. So under first name, we're going to notate that there is a first name column. We'll go to the next, the last name column, so on and so forth. The address field is everything's only in one address box, so we're going to select address line 1. We're going to select, in this case, address line 1. That's what it's called. And then in many cases, you'll see that the city, state, and zip code are in separate columns, which is why you see a city column, state column, and a zip code column. But in this case, you'll notice that they're all together. So we're going to go to this one here that has the label here of city, state, and zip, and we're going to find that column here in the list. There it is, CSZ. So now that is in there properly. Now we're going to go down in order here, and we're looking to where it's coming from. So it's going to be you. Now in this case here, we don't have a first or last name. We just have the company name. That's what the column is called. So we're going to go to the from company, input company, address. We're going to go here to the address line 1, and we're going to skip that one because the column we're talking about is one that is called address, not address 1. So we're going to head to address. And in this case, the city, state, and zip code are in separate columns, so we're going to notate that here. Go down, city, state, and zip. Now also, if you notice, even though it was set before, it wasn't in the end, there's another instance here where a column actually has some specific information. It's a case number. So to put that in, you're going to go down here to the very first miscellaneous text, and we're going to put that particular column name in there, which is case number. All right, now that's every field accounted for. Now we'll go here to next, and we'll see what we can do with this and how this works. All right, so now that we have done that, now we have a few options to consider. If there's already a template in here that you have saved, then you can select one of the templates you already have here. Or you can choose to create a template, or you can upload one. So for this portion, we're actually going to create a template from scratch. So you notice here when you're creating this template, you have a number of different options. The default options are printing only in black and white and printing on one side. The other options we have are colored and printing on both sides, which in this place we're not going to do, doesn't apply. You also have the ability to do perforated paper or reply envelopes. Now, this is the case whenever you would want to send in your letter a place where they could tear off the bottom stub to send a payment back to you using a reply envelope. But again, those are options. The defaults are black and white, printing on one side. Additionally, you can upload more documents if you choose to do so, as many as you like. Those will be printed and be placed in the back of whatever we're creating here, and those will be sent out as well. So in this case here, we literally are composing from scratch. So for instance, you could start off by putting in dear, putting in a space, but now you want to pull from that file the different individuals you're sending it to if you want to personalize it. You don't have to, but it's a nice feature where you could personalize it. So in this case here, you go to keyword and select first name. So it's going to pull that first name from your letter, from your CSV file to your letter. And then you can just compose a letter. We'll keep it simple. All right. And you can also make another note here. Let's say we want to put regarding case number. Remember earlier we had in that miscellaneous text 1 column, we had case number, but we put it under the miscellaneous text 1. So now that'll pull from that column specifically for that particular customer. So once we've completed the letter, we've added these things that we wanted to add, which again are optional. Then you can go down here and click on next, and we'll see what that letter looks like. So you notice because we had something in the from column, and we had, of course, the address of the customer and their name, it populated up here on top, the name of the company and the address, and the person's name it's sent to with their address. And once we fold this letter, it's going to be printed properly to where they show up in the windows of the envelope. But also because we did the keywords, it put the person's name, which personalized it, and then that specific case number, once again personalizing that letter. So once we're pleased with what we see here, we can go down here and do submit. And now we wait for it to show up here, because you notice at this point there is $0 there and none of the letters have shown up. And that's because we need to refresh this screen for it to notate and populate. So we're going to wait a moment, and we're going to click on that and give it just a moment for it to accomplish what it needs to accomplish. Okay, there you have it. So now it has populated. You'll notice a couple of things here. It has the price point that's here now of what it will cost to do this. It shows you have a total of 3 letters you're sending it out to, which was correct. And here's another key component to look for. You have 3 green check marks, which is what you want to see. It means everything came through properly. Here, from the standpoint of the addresses are valid addresses and things are good to go. You can even choose to download a document if you wanted to view it and see what it looked like. And then you could kind of get an idea of what's going to be sent out. And you're good to go there. Okay, something else I want to mention here. Earlier I mentioned the green check marks, which is what you want to see. It means everything is good, the addresses are valid. But if you didn't notice it was actually a red X. That of course indicates that there is a situation, there's something that's not right. And at that point, you can hover over that X and it'll tell you what the issue is, what you need to address and fix. So keep that in mind. Additionally, again, it shows 3 total documents, which is the total that you put in there, so that's correct. And additionally, it would say how many were invalid, so that would go in correspondence with the red X's. But we're good here. But notice something else here. It shows that there are 0 that's been completed. So earlier, whenever you submitted, it showed in the right-hand corner letter submitted, which really isn't entirely accurate. Because how it's set up at this point is, as long as everything stays the way it is right now, everything's good, the green line marks are there, as long as it stays that way up until 4 a.m., which is the cutoff point, then after 4 a.m. it's good to go. That very day it will be printed and mailed out. But until that time comes, until 4 a.m. comes, you have the ability to push on the trash can here, and that will delete that and keep it from going out. It cancels it out. But unless that's clicked on, it will process. So you have until 4 a.m. And once that happens, once 4 a.m. comes and goes, that locks it in there, then you will see where it says completed. That'll show 3 completed, and that shows you everything's good to go, and it will be mailed out. So you certainly want to keep those points in mind. All right, but now let's look at it a different way. Let's go ahead and see another way of accomplishing what we wanted to accomplish. Let's go back here to mail merge. Once again, we're going to go ahead and name a description here. All right, and in this case, we're going to, once again, still do an upload. Okay, now for the sake of speed, in this case, I've already did what we did in the last time and populated these fields for us. So those are done already. Matched them with a CSV file. Well, let's move forward now to show you another route we can go with regard to the letter itself. Last time we created a letter from scratch. This time we want to upload a letter that we've already completed, that we've already done. So let's find that letter we want to do here. Okay, so we're going to find that sample letter, and we're going to go here. All right, and so this letter you see was uploaded, one you've already had, a template you've already created, or it's one you had on your computer, perhaps in a Word document, for instance. So what you had and uploaded was this portion here, the actual letter part itself. But what populated above that letter, because this was all blank in your upload, was the mailing and name address of the person going to, and the return address, which again is pulling from the CSV file that we created. And there you have it. But of course, in this case, you noticed that because it is uploading, you don't have the ability to customize it or personalize it by adding the name or any particular other information in it, because again, you've uploaded a document to it. So in that case, you wouldn't do that, but it's still a nice option for you where you don't need to have that functionality in it. So other than that, once you're satisfied with it, then you can submit it and proceed as the way you did the last time that we did this letter, waiting, of course, for it to populate here, refreshing, and moving on past that. All right, but now let's look at yet another way that we can send letters and do a mail merge. We're going to go back once again to the mail merge portion. All right, let's go ahead and do this again. Okay, and in this case, we're going to upload a CSV file. But this time, we're going to upload a file that has no return address in the fields. And we'll tell you why we might want to do this. Let's move forward. And again, we're going to populate these fields the way we did last time, which for the sake of the tutorial, I'm going to skip that portion here, save some time. Okay, so I've populated everything we want to do. And in this case, the only thing I've populated from the CSV file that we have is just the first, the last name, the address, and the city, state, and zip. Nothing else. Not a from, not a particular column with unique information. That's it. And I'll tell you why I chose to do this time. For instance, what we're going to do is we're going to upload another template, but this time this template is going to have the company logo and the address already on it. So let's find that file. Okay, it's uploaded to us now, to here now. But that company logo has color in it. So at this point, we might choose to select colored if we'd like to do so. And in fact, we will. We're going to select colored here. And that's the only change I want to make. So let's go ahead and select that and do next. And as we see here, it came across just like we want. We have our company address and logo all here on the top like we want it. And that's why we left it blank when we imported the information to our postal methods portal. We didn't put the from address on there. We left it blank up here so that this information would come through when we uploaded it. Other than that, the name and return and address for the customer we're sending it to populated just fine. Now the only difference here and with this using an upload is that you cannot personalize the letter itself using keywords or even adding a case number, things of that nature. It's not possible because you're uploading a document to it. But still a very nice feature and a way where you can actually add a color logo, for instance, things of that nature. So a very nice option for you here. And of course, as always, you submit it and the process continues just the way the other ones did before. So this hereby does conclude the mail merge tutorial.